his college. So pretty exciting stuff. So today what we thought we'd do is, a lot of you have used Blackboard in the past, and whether you taught online or not, some of you use it just to post grades, post lecture notes. A lot of you teach online, completely online, and so obviously there's probably more of a value to each of you. But what we want to do today is just spend about 45 minutes, go through the ins and outs. Ron's going to focus on 3 or 4 sort of areas that we've heard are sort of hot topics for faculty. You know, issues that he's seen come up, issues that we've seen come up this summer. Jim's gotten a number of questions, and Jim and I spent some time with Ron yesterday, obviously by phone. So, you know, it should be an informative session. We are going to record it and post it online, so you'll have access to this if you want to go back and re-listen to something. But Ron, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Great. So yeah, you just shocked everyone in the room. Welcome. It's really loud. But I want to thank you again, Ron, for doing this, and just let you kind of take it from here. And I told the group we're about 45 minutes, and then about 10-15 minutes of questions and answers, if that still works for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's all yours, Ron. Thank you again.
You're most welcome. Well, hello, everybody.
Hello.
My name is Ron Collin. I'm from Collin Community College. We've transferred from Blackboard to Moodle in fall of 2011. There's some really good reviews. One of the biggest questions between Moodle and Blackboard is getting the content. There is an issue. It is pretty much a copy and paste.
Can we stop for a second, Ron? We're having some audio seconds.
What I was going to do is give you a quick basic navigation of
Hey, Ron.
typical Moodle.
Hey, Ron, could you stop for 1 second? We're having some audio difficulty. So if you could give us 2 seconds to resolve that, we'd appreciate it.
Can you mute us?
Yes, my pleasure.
Thank you. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know if it's Scott. What if he...
Yeah, mute his mic. Mute his mic.
Yeah.
Mute us. Mute the room because it'll help in the future. And mute all of us.
No,
That's my internal speaker.
Go ahead, Jim.
I'll just do it. All right, Ron, go ahead and give it a shot.
Oh,
you can't mute your internal speaker. You gotta mute your mic.
I will take that as a yes. So, a little navigation of the Moodle. You have your navigation block over here at the top left. It does pull your course or topic headings. You can see your participants. And this is also how you will enroll your students by clicking on the little gear here. And then clicking enroll students. By default, the assigned roles is set to students. So you can search by a student's last name or ID and click finish after you enroll. You have your breadcrumbs up at the top. This is what we call at our college page. You will have and this can be a very handy tool to see what a student has done and has not done in your course. This is also the best way to grade the discussion forums. It works just like Blackboard Collect the forum. To do this, select all participants and change it to a specific student. Go to all days, select the activity that you would like to grade, and you'd also want to change this to changes. We don't take care if they viewed it or not, or add, update, or delete it. Just do the changes, look at these logs, and it will show you which time they've posted, an IP address, the user's name. Click on this, it will also allow you to grade it right from here. You are done. You can just close that, it's saved. Go on to the next one
I don't think that's good.
and give it its.
I think quality didn't do
In the settings, one of the most important buttons that you will have in your whole is turn editing on.
network jack on the Mac.
It is located up here. If you want to make any changes to your content, this is the button you will use. It is also right here set.
I think there's just too many hops between.
Once you turn it on,
'Cause I can tell by
it
the-
says off, so it's
Comes
actually
with the merit
backwards.
That's
When it's
what it
off,
makes.
it's really on. When it's off, you get the point. Sorry. Edit settings. Here you can select current weekly format, topic format, or of a social Facebooky format. You can decide on how many number of topics you will use. You will make your course available for not built to the students. You can also use a student progress completion tree. If you enable this gives you a lot more functionality to do more of an adaptive release than I have, which I have done in my course. So each time that I have added the completion tracking. So, for instance, my course syllabus, at the very bottom, I restrict the access. You don't have anything set on this one, because it is the very first one. The activity completion, I want this activity completed by a student, they must view it. So when a student actually views the course, this is the tester, they don't see anything below the course documents except the course syllabus. Once they click on the course syllabus, it asks them to download it, or a PDF can be right from Moodle itself. And we always recommend PDFs and RTFs because they transfer easily between PCs and Macs. So as soon as that is viewed, the next thing pops up, the course calendar. This calendar will open up. This one's opening in a new window. See it? And when the page actually refreshes, now our Moodle roadmap opens, which opens by default in Word. And this goes on, so on. You can set to your whole topic is restricted by an individual item. To get it to restrict to an individual item, when you are updating your setting, at the bottom here in the restrict access, you choose which activity or what resource you are wanting to restrict it to, and that must be complete. If a student has already completed this, you can unlock it to where the students will have to go back and do it again. You will find your gradebook under the settings. You'll also find your question block. We'll get into the grades a little bit. You can switch your role to a generic student. So, right in the middle of your developing course, you want to see how a student is going to see the very first time. It'll say you were logged in as a specific student, or logged in as yourself. And you can return to your normal role. You can change some of your profile settings. Depends on the administrator of your Moodle. Site administration courses and edit courses. This is where you would add your courses. Once we turn the editing on, this is what we call at our college the content or course header. Clicking on the little gear is your edit icon. You have the functionality of coming in here and opening to a full screen. This is where we instruct our instructors to put in their name, their phone, their email address, virtual office hours, or post their office hours, depending on if they are required to have for that course or not. You can also restrict access to any one of your topics. Depending on how many you have, you can restrict them all. Some instructors use days, so they will open up the first week on the first day of class and let it go through, and then they will close it, and that will help kind of keep the students on track. I always recommend break. Because what happens is 90% of people have Microsoft Office at home. That automatically sets the default email client as soon as it's installed on the computer. So it's going to ask the students to set up their Outlook if they have it, or whatever the default email client is. To break that link, you will edit the settings, highlight it, and these icons here. It's as simple as clicking this middle one and saving the changes. So now they will have to copy and paste it into their email address to send to you. The course header is designed to have all these documents that are always right in the student's face. Your course syllabus, your course calendar, anything that the student would access throughout the whole course. I've gotten some good reviews from students that I pulled out of a computer lab that actually take a look at this course itself, and I pulled in a few faculty members to take a look at it. The content itself is pretty much irrelevant, just stuff that I've thrown up, but I wanted to give an idea of how to set up your course. All these are set to restrict access until the course calendar week 1 will not be viewed until the map has been viewed, writing guide until this has been viewed, PowerPoint until the writing guide, so on and so forth. The assignments. This is how it looks without of the restricted access. So basically I have a resources, this is what I expect my students to read, this is what I expect my students to do for grades. One nice thing about Moodle is when you build an activity, it makes your gradebook automatic. So going in and adding an activity resource, you click on the add an activity or resource. As soon as you put a radio button in the order, it will give you a brief description. There are a little bit of different creations between the languages, between Blackboard and Moodle. So the discussion boards are called forums. You will not see tests, you will see exams. The only thing you will see is a quiz. Typically, a quiz and a test are the same. A test is usually worth a lot of points than a quiz. When you set up the quiz, excuse me, the main issue that we have with faculty members is this button right here, this checkbox, marks. Marks means grade in the gradebook. Immediately after the quiz is submitted, a student will go to the grade. They want to see their grade. Later is 5 minutes, and it can go from 5 minutes till the end of the course, or until you close it. Once you close it, or you hide the quiz itself, this box here must be checked in order for the students to see their grade in the gradebook. Or this quiz, test, or exam, whatever you name it. The name is always the clickable main page. On the assignments, Moodle has combined 4 different assignment types into one assignment now. The assignment name, click on the course main page. The description are the instructions for the student. What do they have to do for the assignment? I always tell our faculty here not to use the dates, because every semester we will this forward, and they will have to change the date. They can use an eyeball and make it manual access, restrict access for the whole topic, and have it open up a week for a topic at a time. Notify graders about submissions. A lot of our faculty has complained about that. I tell everybody to set it to no. Because when a student submits it and that's set to yes, it's going to send you an email. We can imagine how many emails that can hit to very quickly. Online text is short, 3 to 5 sentence paragraph. File submissions are actually more. You can limit the number of uploads that a student can do all the way up to 20. And you can also limit the size of the file submission. A document is a very large document. You have the scale, which is for 1 to 100, or separate ways of knowing. You have grade categories built in your gradebook. You can select the categories from here. So you can group all of your assignments together, quizzes together, all of your tests, your discussion forums. And again, you'll have the restrict access. You can use an activity completion. So I'm saying the students must have the PowerPoint presentation done before they can access this assignment. And the students have to complete have the conditions met before that this assignment can be part of it. Students must submit to complete it. When you save and return to course, you do not have the required information in here. It will not allow you to save and return to the course. Save and display. Save and display is just like you click that from the course main page. in the Gradebook. So settings, and this is a grade report. You can always check a student's user report by clicking on this icon here. And this will show you what the students see. You can come over here and select different students if you have more than one in your course. You can enter in grades areas. One, you can enter them in here, turn your editing on, then you can manually enter your grade here. You can also edit the grade to override the grade and give a student a specific percentage or however you might grade it. You can exclude them from grade. You can also give them independent feedback, which means that student will only be able to see this feedback from their gradebook. With this scroll bar here, after about 8 students, you have to scroll down to the bottom of the page and scroll over. So we recommend our faculty is a magic number because our classes typically have
Pick a number. What was that number, Ron?
8.
There, thanks.
Sorry, I have my volume turned up so I don't get the reverb back. In the course grade settings, you can select how many decimal points you want the average grade item to use. It is set to 0. Hide totals if they contain hidden items. In some of the grades, it's not really work. So if you're using a point scale, you can't run a running grade, so to speak. You'd have to change it to like simple weighted mean of grades, and then make sure that it shows the totals excluding hidden items. In my report preferences and grader report, here's where you will put in your grade. And then if you would like to use the quick grading to one less button click, you'll want to enable the Ajax. What that means is when you are on your overview, you don't have to turn your editing on to enter in a grade. You can just click on the grade item itself, hit the grade, and click on it. And then it shows a color. That means you manually override the grade. If you do this, be very careful that you do not override the category total grade. If you do, then it does not matter what you put in this grade here. If you go over allowed, it will come up with this error message here. To actually fix this, you'll have to come in here, click the edit button, unoverride the grade. If you accidentally do it, that is how you. You can export your gradebook. Our chairs require the exported. They're put into our grading system. So just by clicking on export Excel, it will allow you to download the gradebook, everything but the final grade, the letter grade. letters, you will want to make sure that this matches your syllabus. By clicking on the Edit Grade Letters, just drop down menus, and click the box to override the defaults. And then there are drop downs and they use. You will have to make sure that F is at 0. F is not at 0, student get a different grade. So between 59 and 0%, that would be F. Scales, recommend staying away from these. If you create a scale, say of 150 points, you cannot give that student a 0. They do not complete the assignment. You have to give them 1 point. Now, 1 out of 150 is pretty much their grade, but you are giving them. So we highly recommend staying away from the scale. Categories and items. This is where you can manipulate grade to do what you want it to do. Whether you sum of grades, mean of grades, weighted mean of grades, simple weighted mean of grades. The simple weighted mean of grade we use a lot because our faculty say our quizzes are worth 20% of stronger. Our assignments are worth 20%. Our discussion forums are worth 29%. The course total should equal 100. If it doesn't equal 100, you need to make sure that it does. It's really you're saying this total is 100%. You can add categories, attendance and participation, and quiz category by clicking on the Add Categories at the very bottom. Category name will be your assignment or exams. Use simple weighted mean of grade or any of these. Aggregate only non-empty grade. You want that checked if you're going to be running. And then the maximum grade, this is percentage, is this category actually. And save changes. You can add individual grade items. So if there is an offline activity, like for a business class, you send out for a mock interview of number. You give it a name, the maximum grade. You can select category it in. And now it's in my assignments. Now it's not on the course main page. That's where I would recommend it, because then you can give them all the directions and instructions for the assignment itself, and that'll allow them to upload, post, or so on for that particular assignment. You can move things around by clicking on the little and selecting where you would want to move by clicking in the box. So now it has moved. I think I'm ready for some questions.
Does anyone have any questions thoughts?
I have a question. I noticed it was, at the beginning, you called your office hours virtual office hours. What does that mean? Are you logged in during that time, or is that just an office hour, you just call them virtual because they're online?
You wouldn't be able to hear.
You can't hear me. You're gonna have to relay.
Bring your computer up.
Turn it up, sorry. Can you hear me, Ron?
I can hear you. I didn't hear if there were any questions.
Yeah, there was a question
You had
around
office hours
the
up there?
virtual office hours. Were those virtual office hours because they're just virtual, or are those the office hours? That was the question of faculty. Is that,
Yeah, like, is he logged in during, I'm just curious how he,
like, are you logged in? Are faculty saying, my virtual hours are this, so I'm logged in at this time?
Yes, you would be logged in at this time, and I actually used an activity for a chat.
I see, okay.
ah. So how does that work? How does chat work?
So how does chat work? Can you talk about chat a little bit?
Chat is an open chat, so anyone logged in can click on that chat session and do what everybody is posting. So it's not confidential office hour. You will name the chat room. This will the virtual office hours chat or text. And then you can set your chat times by date in a specific time. It does use military format, and it is every 5 minutes. You can publish these sessions to where it's the same every day, or time at every week, or it's just one specific day and that's it. You can limit the view of students from going back in and seeing the past chat sessions. You can also set up groups inside anything in Moodle. You can have a group do a test and have them do quizzes, have them do forums.
And, well, so if you're doing a virtual chat, you have to be in that actual class and open that chat session.
Oops, sorry.
So in order to do a chat, you have to be in that class to be doing a virtual chat. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Any other questions?
How about finding and putting your syllabus in the right spot?
Could you go through attaching your syllabus to the right spot? Can you just go through attaching a document, such as your syllabus?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Attaching your syllabus to the right spot. Like, how do you attach a document?
Okay, there are two ways to attach documents.
It goes in general.
It goes in general. Right? Now that's not a question, I'm kind of...
Yeah, I'm pulling up.
I'm telling you where it goes in, it goes in general. Okay. This is a question from someone on posting the syllabus in general. Could you go through that process?
Yep. To add an activity, and click on File, and then Add Again. You will type in the name, a brief description of what this is, and you can click on Add,
Upload it.
Upload, Choose,
So you can see it, so it's less clicking.
and then Open upload the file again. You can select the display options, restrict access, activity completions. So here's my course syllabus that I just added. Or there is an easier way. It's called drag and drop.
Title.
That's it.
100 megabytes.
So like, you know, you go here.
It's different on every system.
You can edit the title here.
If you're running Internet Explorer,
You can use this icon to move things up and down and place them where you need it inside your course. You can edit the settings or update this document. You can duplicate it, delete it, hide it. If it's grayed out, it means it's not viewable for the student, but you, as the instructor, can still click on it. You can also assign roles. So if you have groups set up in your course, you'll be able to assign roles from here.
Yes.
I have,
Hey, Ron, we have a couple more questions, so, go ahead. I
yeah,
think he
using
can
the
hear you.
weekly format. And what I'd like to do is I'm looking at your activities section. Could you scroll down and take a look at that? What I'd like to do is be able to set up something quite similar to that. And,
I can't hear anything.
weekly, or, I'm sorry, activities.
So, just, here, go, just tell me. Hold on one second, Ron, well, just talk to me.
How do I develop that activities box? I think that's something where I can have particular accessible folders for students to get documents and videos
Okay.
that aren't naturally available.
So how do,
well,
Ron,
that's a long answer. I can do that.
General stuff.
In the general folder at the top.
okay, well, well, there's a question, I think we can get the answer from some other faculty, but it's about how do you create the activity box where faculty, or not faculty, where students can post, can post things?
Actually, I think he just wanted to,
Yeah.
to scroll
For an
down
assignment?
and look at it.
Okay, can you scroll down on your screen, Ron? I think that's the first, yeah, keep going, keep going.
There.
There, stop.
Activities.
Activities.
This?
Yeah, so how do you create that? Is that the question?
No, that's okay. I'll sort it out.
Okay, are you sure?
How does he have it tabbed though? How does he have resources and then activities? How
That's
does
what
he
I
have
was-
it tabbed?
Yeah, the resource and activities. Why do you have a resource and activities tab? I guess,
How are they tabbed? How are they separate?
how are they tabbed and how are they separate?
The labels.
How are they tabbed and how are they separate?
How did you get the word resources there?
How did you get the word resources there? There you go. How's that?
Resources
Oh,
and then stuff.
okay, I'm sorry.
Activities and then-
Add an activity, and these were actually created as a label.
Oh.
Label. That's
Now,
good.
labels can be very useful. You can actually embed YouTube videos.
Sweet.
But all I did for the activities is just type it out, and I used a heading just in case we have a visually impaired student. I don't have to come back in and reinvent the field. At our college, we actually do have a 100% blind student that is taking online. So some faculty had to basically redo their course. And when you're told you have to do it to get it ready, that's a lot of strain and stress on the faculty member works if they created it that way from the beginning, they wouldn't have anything to worry about. Because Moodle itself technically is accessible. Yeah. So from YouTube, you can click on the share, embed, and grab the iframe code. And use the HTML paste your code in there, click on update, save and return to course. So not only do we have the activities, the YouTube video should be coming in a second.
You gotta turn editing off.
You gotta turn editing off, maybe? Somebody said. I didn't say that.
No, you should not have to.
I don't know.
That might be
Huh?
He's setting
No,
up all
it's,
the
Just the
business.
no,
bandwidth thing?
no, it's Safari, dude.
something that your site admin might
Oh,
have.
okay.
It's a Mac. The iframe doesn't work.
Oh, it's a Mac. Sorry.
Some labels.
And then with the resources and activity, I actually only created one resource and one activity label. And then I used the duplicate button because I didn't feel like typing and I always misspell resources. And then I just moved them down to their top. I do have at the very bottom what they call different activities. Here's where I keep my original course syllabus in the Word document, so next semester I would be able to change the dates. With your editing turned on, you will see it. If your editing is turned on, you will not see activity. Your students will not see orphaned activities. And all this is an extra. You can use the plus and minus button at the top of the page and add more topics, weeks, or you can take them away.
Notice those buttons down there. Understood.
For the activities, all I did was move them right with the to indent them. Are there any other questions?
If any other questions come up, Ron will be available to answer, maybe on the phone or whatnot. It might be a little easier, so sorry about the audio. We had a little bit of breaking up audio, but I think for the most part, people could make out the general essence of what you were doing. So we don't have any more questions here, but I think if anybody has any things afterwards or as things come up, I'll certainly have them connect with you. So, anything else? I'll let Ron go. Well, Ron, thank you very, very much for your time. I will follow up with you in a call later on again, but just thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon and giving us some insights into Moodle. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. You have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron.
Go with, click on, this, edit that one, not that one. Click there.
So, Yeah, I think he's going.
Okay, I do have some questions.
Yeah, yeah. Well, before you go, Serena, this is what I'll do, and I apologize for the audio issues. They weren't expected, but what Ron will also do is he can be available to talk with individuals. I know you have Jim and Keith and Barry and but it's sometimes nice to have an outside perspective. They may be dealing with things from a different perspective or have some other insight. What I think I'm going to do, and I think Ron will do it, is I'm going to have him do this entire presentation again without like this setup, just do it in his office, and then send it to me, and then we can post that one, just from a clarity perspective, in case some of you want to go back and watch this. To be fair to you, I certainly don't want to waste your time and energy. Hopefully you were able to make out some of what he was saying, at least get a sense of the orientation. And I'll keep you posted on that, but he should be able to do that, because he did say he'd be available pretty much whenever you guys want. So,
Do you want to do something in the lab maybe Thursday?
yeah, we could. I mean, yeah, do we want to do something in the lab Thursday?
Tomorrow?
Or tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow, I don't.
Tomorrow's gonna be
150
busy.
people coming tomorrow.
Is that supposed tomorrow?
But the other thing is too, during this semester, I'm going to set some things up, and I know in a couple weeks, there's another lady from, I believe, Kalamazoo Community College who said she would provide some training or just some, like, she's going to join us on speakerphone and talk.
I was
Oh,
expecting to be start number,
Yeah.
blank course, here's how you add this. I mean, he started doing stuff.
That's what I found too. Yeah, when you first
That-
come onto
it was-
Moodle, this is what you're going to see.
Yeah.
Create course, like he
I
kind of
could
jumped
do
in
some
mid.
of that.
So we're,
That's what I did while he
then
was-
on adding students, he just went through that really fast. It just,